Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Welcome back to the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel from the heart of the Deep South, near the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. Today I'm doing the review of the Acoustic Sounds Analog Productions Atlantic 75th anniversary of Coltrane Plays the Blues, mastered from the original analog tapes by Ryan K. Smith. I've been looking forward to this one. This is one of the ones that I do not have. I've never owned this. And one of the ones that kind of slipped by me. I do have a lot of Coltrane, but this is one of the ones that I don't have. And I was pretty happy when I saw that they were putting this one out. I think Rhino had put out a version of this with extra tracks some time ago. But of course, this is the original on 45 RPM with the original 6 tracks. Originally recorded in 1960, along with the same sessions that produced My Favorite Things. So I'm looking forward to this one. So I'm going to play this for you guys, give you my reaction to it, how I think it sounds. I love playing these for you guys. It's a lot of fun for me to share these with you. A couple of things that I thought I would share with you before we get started is for those of you jazz fans out here, I thought that this is a fantastic book, called The Jazz Book from Ragtime to the 21st Century. This is the 7th edition, and by Joachim Ernest Behrendt and Gunther Huisman. You can see there. You can find this on Amazon. A great history of jazz, and it gives you a look at, kind of starts off giving you a look, through a brief history of jazz from the beginning up until the 90s. And then it goes into some of the great figures like Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis, Louis Armstrong, John McLaughlin, David Murray, Wynton Marsalis. Kind of digs into some people that go into the modern jazz like John Zorn and so forth. Has a chapter on improvisation. But it's very well written. I'm about a third of the way through, and it has a whole section where it goes through the different instruments and the great players that pioneered those different instruments in jazz. So for the trumpet, and there's a lot of people that I had not heard of that this goes into, which is good and bad. It's great because you get to learn a lot more about jazz and a lot more about these musicians that had great influence on different, eras, different types of jazz. But at the same time, you start looking up more records and you start finding more things that you didn't know were out there. And now my want list has increased drastically. So purchase this at your own risk. It goes through, has the great saxophone players, great flute players, great piano players, all through the different ages. And then, the guitar, the bass, so on and so forth, the drums, percussion instruments, even violin, tuba, vocalists of jazz. Anyways, it's about almost 700 pages with an extensive discography in the back. So again, kind of dangerous, but a lot of information in this, and I do recommend it. You can pick it up on Amazon. So just something I thought I'd share with you guys there for those of you who are big jazz fans and like to learn and read history and things like that. Pretty cool. I do want to do a review of this King Crimson Starless and Bible Black, which I just purchased online. And it's a limited edition 200-gram vinyl that they did, that stereo mixes by Stephen Wilson and Robert Fripp. And I do have an original that I can compare to, but my original is not in the greatest shape. So it's not really a fair comparison. It's a little noisy, my original copy, and that's why I bought this one. Anyways, thought I'd share that with you guys. All right, now, without further ado, let's open up Coltrane Plays the Blues and talk a little bit more about the record, who plays on it, and let's have a listen to it. So, open this guy up. And again, I love opening these up, with you guys, and playing them right out of the wrapper, showing you the records. And again, these are just, if there's if there's only one thing that I can buy every month at this point, you know, as your collection grows over time, you start kind of looking at what you really want to spend your money on records, even though a lot of times you have impulse buys. I know I still have those. But really, this is worthwhile picking these 75th anniversaries up every month for me. I've got the subscription, and you get the, you know, the same number. I got number 282 every month here. It's such a great series with different genres. You get jazz, rhythm and blues, you know, rock music, modern rock music, etc. And they're all just such great sounding records that they're really hard to beat, and they're really is nice to add to your collection. So anyways, let me go ahead and pull this out, spray it off. Again, this is from the same 1960 sessions that My Favorite Things came from. This is a little bit less known. And this, you know, I think I'm kind of excited about it because I haven't really heard these. And again, I don't have it on CD or record. So this is kind of one of those records that just kind of, you know, went under the radar for me anyway. And so I'm kind of looking forward to listening to this. Personnel on here, we talk about that. Interesting bass player on here, which I don't know a lot about. This guy named Steve Davis. And started playing in the early 60s. I think the last time he records is like 1968. And you don't see anything else about him. And then, you know, he dies at like the age of 58, pretty young. So I don't know really the story about him. If any of you guys know anything more details about that than what Wikipedia has. But I thought that was just kind of interesting because, you know, he played with Chuck Mangione, I think, and a couple of other notable people, and then kind of disappears. But you also have McCoy Tyner on piano. For those of you who know jazz, know who McCoy Tyner is. Elvin Jones, the great Elvin Jones, on drums. And then, of course, you've got Coltrane playing soprano saxophone on this, on 2 tunes. And then he's playing tenor on the rest. So here is the record, cleaned off. I'm going to drop it on now for you guys. Let's have a listen to it and see how she sounds. Blues to Elvin. This I'll put on the first tune, and takes up the whole side here. On this second side, you got Blues to Bechet and Blues to You. All the rest are Coltrane tunes except for the first one, which is a McCoy Tyner tune. So just a little background there. Let's go ahead and put this guy on and have a listen. Nice, again, tight spindle holes on some of these. This one's actually a little tighter than some of them. So this one's a bit tighter than normal. It is a nice flat pressing. Listen to it on the RT85 with the Ortofon Blue. Going through my Shipmoney preamp into my Yamaha HS8 speakers. On this side. nice tone on the saxophone for sure. It's great. Got 41 minutes of music on this, 6 tracks. Recorded in New York City, October 24th, 1960. Sounds really nice. I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to, but comparing it with other jazz records that have come out of this series, it sounds really nice. It's got decent depth to it. Saxophone sounds fantastic. Got good bass presence. Drums sound nice. Piano. And I can hear a little bit of surface noise. I don't know if it's the quietest of these pressings. I may have to clean it off again. I just sprayed it off like I usually do with distilled water. But I can hear just a little bit of surface noise every once in a while. And normally they're very, very quiet pressings. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this song play through, and I'm gonna flip it over and put on the other side for those of you that wanna hang out. But it sounds fantastic. I mean, wonderful piano playing there. Corey Tyner was just a genius. Tom Dowd engineered this. Yeah, so far so good. It sounds really nice. Nice stereo recording. I don't know about you guys out there, but I still prefer stereo recordings over mono. I know there's a lot of mono enthusiasts out there. One thing that I brought up several times on several different videos that nobody has really commented on a lot, maybe one person I think has commented on, do you listen to mono records with one speaker or two? I ask a lot of people that because when you read all these hi-fi books back in the 50s and early 60s, all the hi-fi enthusiasts said that it was basically mandatory that if you listen to a mono record that you listen to it through one speaker. And a lot of them talked about how you should take the mono speaker and deflect it off, put it in a corner and have it come off a wall so you could get kind of the different frequencies would be delayed within the room and you get a richer sound. I've got several audiophile books that talk about that. And but all the time that I see with most audiophile people, they're listening to mono records through two speakers, which kind of baffles me. They spend all this money on all these mono cartridges and all this stuff, and they're listening to it through two speakers. So anyway, if you have any comments on that, leave that. I'm going to go ahead and flip this record over. So far, so good, but I do want to flip it over and listen to another tune. This is a tight spindle hole on this one, but came off there no problem. It's a nice flat record. Putting it on this side, Blues to Bechet, and let's check this out a little bit more. Again, leave your comments. Tell me what you think about this album in particular, if you guys have any familiarity with it. Again, this is kind of a new record to me, so... Nice laid back, you know. Yeah, it's got a nice warm sound to it. Now in this tune you hear a little bit more of the saxophone in both speakers, where before it was predominantly on the left. Bass is still over here. And that's probably because McCoy Tyner is not on this track, so it's just Coltrane with Davis and Jones. That's probably why you've got the balance now of the saxophone coming out of both speakers, and you got bass here and drums kind of here, where before you had the saxophone over here and the piano over here. So they probably mixed it like that on purpose because you've got 3 instruments instead of 4, so makes sense. Sounds great though. I think people are gonna dig this for sure. So nice pictures again, nice jacket. Again, another successful outing for Analog Productions Acoustic Sounds on this. I would definitely, if you're a Coltrane fan, I think this is a good one to add to the collection. I've got quite a few Coltrane albums on record. I probably have maybe, if I had to guess, maybe 15 different Coltrane albums, and then that doesn't include the CDs that I have. So this one is one I didn't have, and I'm glad to have it in my collection so far. This sounds really nice. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Again, check this out if you're interested in jazz history, and do so at your own risk. You might be buying more records or looking up guys that you never heard of before. And I was sitting around reading this and pulling things up on Amazon and streaming it through my speakers in the other room, just listening to different things that I hadn't heard before, and pretty interesting. There's a lot more jazz players and artists out there that are not as well recognized, even for those of us that listen to a lot of jazz. So anyways, appreciate you guys joining me. Happy listening to all you guys, and I'll have more videos coming up. So leave your comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say, and we'll talk to you later on.